What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here. Now, of course, with the Emmy Awards, being this Monday. Now, the Emmys have been around forever, and a lot of times there'll be shows that have never really been nominated at the Emmys. That I miss some shows that have been nominated. I would say were complete snubs. So I decided to do my top 10 comedy shows that I think should have been nominated at the Emmys before, but they never even scored no Emmy nomination. So that's pretty much what this list is about. All right, coming in at number 10 is mainly a recent show, and that would be The Goldbergs. I mean, this show premiered in 2013, I believe. I mean, this is a awesome comedy. I mean, it takes place in the 80s, and it's like a love letter to the 80s. I mean, you got Adam Goldberg, who's pretty much like a big movie nerd. You got Barry Goldberg, who's awesome. Erica Goldberg is amazing, and of course, Wendy McClellan-Covey is awesome on the show as Beverly Goldberg. And you have a Patton Oswalt, who's the older version of Adam Goldberg, who's narrating the whole show. It's kind of like this generation's Wonder Years in a way. It really has a Wonder Years feel to it. And I mean, how on earth has this show not? I mean, it has a lot of people love this show. I mean, it has good rating scores on Rotten Tomatoes. It's lots of people adore the show. So how on earth have this not been nominated for an Emmy? It's still beyond me. I mean, it's just an awesome comedy. I cannot wait for the next season, which I think it's season 6. I think it's season 6 or 5. To be honest, I always lose count when it comes to seasons. But yeah, if you guys still haven't seen The Goldbergs, it's a really funny show. I mean, it's like I said, it's a love letter to the 80s. And yeah, I still think the show should have been should have scored some nominations. Coming in at number 9 is probably the only dramedy on my list, and that would be Shameless. I mean, I'm glad that William H. Macy scored nominations, but Shameless has never really been nominated for the Emmys for Outstanding Comedy Series, and I think that is a crime. It's seriously the best show on TV. I mean, William H. Macy is just fantastic as Frank Gallagher. Season 9 just premiered yesterday, which I really dug the season premiere. I mean, Emmy Rossum have not even yet scored a nomination. I mean, come on, hey, maybe no wonder why she's leaving the show. She's never been nominated, so yeah, maybe that could be a reason why she's leaving the show. But anyway, yeah, it's a crime that this show have not really scored more nominations than it should have. It's so darn awesome. The characters are so amazing. I mean, I really love interacting, seeing these characters on screen. I love watching the show. Hang out with the characters. I mean, this show should have got more nominations than it should have. I mean, all due respect to William H. Macy, I'm glad he gets nominated. Though I still think he should win. Oh, yeah, maybe he'll win this week since he's nominated. But yeah, it's a crime that this show have not been scored more nominations. It's just an awesome show. All right, coming in at number 9 is Saved by the Bell, which is of course the classic high school show set in high school. Mario Lopez was in this. Elizabeth Berkley, before she played a stripper in Showgirls, was in this. I mean, Tiffany Deason, I think that's how you pronounce the last name. Also got Mark Portculliser as Zach Morris. Zach Morris is trash. If you guys haven't seen that Funny or Die thing where they talk about how Zach Morris is trash and all, check that out. Just Google Zach Morris is trash. You'll probably find that video. It's funny how they really show how much of an asshole Zach Morris is. I've been watching the show for forever. I always keep forgetting how much of a jerk Zach Morris is. I mean, that dude was a jerk. Anyway, back to the show. I'm surprised how Saved by the Bell has not ever scored a nomination for the Emmys. I mean, it's a classic sitcom. Has like really redeeming characters, engaging characters. They all have like good chemistry with one another. I mean, this show should have scored more like nominations, and it's a crime that it has not ever been nominated. If you guys haven't seen Saved by the Bell, check the show out. It's just, like it'll show what high school was back then as it was today. Because of course, if Saved by the Bell would premiere today, we all know the kids in the show will be on their phones. Anyway. All right, coming in at number 7 is Mork and Mindy, which I'm surprised this show never scored any nominations. I mean, I don't even think Robert Williams was ever nominated. I gotta double check that, but I mean, this show is. I mean, it was like a spin-off of Happy Days, and it pretty much had Robert Williams and who's the other actress, and Pam Dober as pretty much like brother and sister aliens. You know, this sitcom was hysterical. Like Robert Williams and Pam Dauber, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Both had good chemistry with one another. This had some really funny episodes. It was pretty much Robert Williams' breakout show, like breakout part, and he was just R.I.P. Robert Williams. He was just awesome on the show. All right, coming in at number 6 is Good Times. Now, I said that like the Cosby Show. I still think that was like the first African American show to ever win for Best Comedy Series. This show should have been the first. I mean, it was never even nominated, believe it or not. I mean, it came out like before the Cosby Show. It premiered like I think in the 70s. I think 70s or late 60s, if I recall. And I mean, come on, you got like the character Florida. I mean, if it wasn't for Good Times, we wouldn't have shows like the Cosby Show. We wouldn't even have Blackish. This show pretty much paved the way for more like African American sitcoms, and it did it well. I mean, come on, Dynamite. That's an iconic character. If you guys still haven't seen Good Times, it's an awesome sitcom. And one of my favorite episodes of Blackish was when they made us like an episode spoofing Good Times. I love that episode. All right, coming in at number 5 is another alien sitcom, and that will be Alf. How on earth has this show never been nominated? It's still beyond me. I mean, Alf it's a hoot. It's pretty much about like an alien of sorts who lives with a family. Who he pretty much crashes in Earth and lives with like a family and all. It's an awesome sitcom. I've been watching like reruns once in a while because it's on Encore. Like the reruns is like on Encore. I think Encore stars on the man. I can't remember, but yeah. If you guys still haven't seen Alf, I mean, it's such a funny sitcom. Alf just cracks me up every time he spoke. Now, of course, there was supposed to be there was words about them reviving Alf, and I'm all for seeing Alf again. I mean, more Alf is more good in my book. And how on earth have Alf never really scored any Emmy nominations? That's still beyond me. All right, coming in at number 4 is Happy Days, which of course was the show that spawned Mork and Mindy. Of course, Happy Days had Henry Winkler as the Fonz, and it's pretty much about like a family living through the 50s, with guidance and from a love from Fonzie. And Henry Winkler is awesome as Fonzie. I mean, he was so darn funny as a character. Henry Winkler just played the role perfectly. It was also created by Gary Marshall, who of course went on to direct movies like A Pretty Woman. He directed those holiday romance movies. R.I.P. Gary Marshall. He was pretty much a TV icon. And of course, the show also had Ron Howard as the role of Richard Cunningham. Now, Of course, Ron Howard went on to direct, iconic stuff like he recently just directed Solo. He did like Beautiful Mind. He did. I can't remember all of Ron Howard's movies. Of course, he did Willow. He's one of the best directors, and if it wasn't for this, we probably wouldn't have Ron Howard, because this and the Andy Griffith Show pretty much made Ron Howard who he was. And of course, you had like the late Aaron Martin as Joni Cunningham. You also had like Scott Baio as Tucci. Then of course the show went on as spoof. Went on and did the spin-off Joni Love Chacha. I never cared for much for the name, but also you got like the likes of Martin Ross, who played like the mother. Tom Bosley was in this. Anson Williams, the late Al Molarino. Like, if you guys still haven't seen Happy Days, it's really classic. Now, I don't think the show will ever be made today because there are stuff on the show that I don't think will fit in 2018. But yeah, Happy Days is just a classic. I mean, Henry Winkler as the Fonz, him saying, "Hey," I could just watch that all day. All right, coming in at number 3 is Family Matters. How on earth had this show never been nominated? Still beyond me. Chili White should have been nominated for Steve Urkel. I mean, of course, the character was a little annoying at times, but that's pretty much the character for you. You of course had Rango Val Johnson as Carl Winslow. If you know Val Johnson, he also played like the cop on Die Hard, so that's a little tidbit for you. Darius McCrary was also on this. Joe Marie Payton. I mean, this is pretty much a pure late 80s and 90s comedy classic. It's so darn funny. Steve Urkel's just awesome. Yeah, I just Family Matters. And I still wish it was nominated, but not every show could get nominated, I guess. All right, coming in at number 2 is Full House. Now, I guess I could see why this was never nominated, because when Full House, first premiered, the review wasn't the best. So that could, of course, also be it. But I mean, Full House is it's pretty much a classic. I mean, first premiered like in 1987, and it's pretty much about like a guy with 3 daughters who's pretty much his wife gets killed in a car accident, and he pretty much stays home with his 3 daughters while his 2 best friends Joey and Jesse come and stay with him and help with the kids. I mean, this was a touching sitcom, and I'm so glad that Netflix has a Fuller House. I mean, Full House is just a classic sitcom. I mean, it ended really quickly. Like, it ended like in '95, but of course, they just revived it for Netflix, which I'm happy about. But yeah, I still wish Full House was a Emmy Award nominated show. Maybe not a win, but at least it should have been nominated. All right, coming in at number 1 is kind of no surprise. It's pretty much in the thumbnail, and that will be Married with Children. I was looking at the list of the shows that was nominated and the shows that wasn't. How on earth has Married with Children never even been nominated? I don't even think Kathy Segal ever been nominated for the show. I mean, that's a crime at the Emmys. I mean, Married with Children is just a classic sitcom. I mean, Ed O'Neill, who's now, of course, on Modern Family, as Al Bundy. I mean, you got like the aforementioned as Kathy Segal as Peg. Christine Applegate was on the show. I mean, this show was a hoot. I mean, it was so darn funny. It was so engaging with I really dug the characters. I mean, how this show should have been nominated, but sadly it wasn't. All right, pretty much that's my list. Let me run them down. Number 10, The Goldbergs. Number 9, Shameless. Number 8, Saved by the Bell. Number 7, Mork and Mindy. Number 6, Good Times. Number 5, Alf. Number 8, Happy Days. Number 3, Family Matters. Number 2, Full House. And number 1, Married with Children. Let me leave it to you guys. What are some comedy shows that you wish had scored nominations but never really was nominated? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.